All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're opening up the dusty, forbidden pages of medieval grimoires to look at a truly dark, highly esoteric figure. We're exploring a being who doesn't just represent your standard issue destruction or temptation, but something far more sophisticated and honestly, far more unsettling. We are talking about a master of transmutation, an entity who literally embodies the ancient obsession with artificial perfection. So get ready, because we're looking at a being who supposedly holds the very blueprints to reality itself. It's a pretty wild thought, right? What if the absolute secret to unlimited wealth was already discovered by a demon? Just imagine, for a second, having a supernatural shortcut to ultimate riches and infinite wisdom. Now, most legends about dark pacts, they usually involve bags of gold just magically appearing out of thin air or some sudden, unexplainable stroke of luck. But the subject of our explainer today, he does something much more precise. He doesn't just hand you wealth. He teaches you how to make it out of absolutely anything. So to understand exactly who we're dealing with, we need to look at the Ars Goetia. As you probably know, this is the first section of the infamous Lesser Key of Solomon, that legendary 17th century textbook of magic compiled from centuries of forbidden knowledge. It meticulously catalogs 72 demons, and sitting right there at number 48 in this ancient dark hierarchy is our subject, Haagenti, also spelled Haagenti. He's the 48th spirit of hell, and let me tell you, he is definitely not just a foot soldier. He holds a very serious rank. Okay, let's dive into this ultimate supernatural dossier. Haagenti's rank? He is a great president of hell, and that title alone carries enormous weight in the esoteric underworld. Astrologically speaking, he's tied to the concept of luxury, serving as a demon to those born between November 9th and 14th. We even know his celestial adversary, his opposing Kabbalistic angel, is named Michael. And throughout history, scholars and conjurers have tracked him under various alternative names too, like Hage, Hgog, Hognif, and Hegnif. Honestly, uncovering all these details feels exactly like unmasking the stats of a powerful supervillain. Now, I just want you to take a second and let this number sink in. 33. As a great president of hell, Haagenti absolutely does not work alone. He commands 33 legions of demons. When you consider the vast bureaucratic nightmare that these texts describe hell to be, having 33 legions of spirits at your beck and call, yeah, that means you are a major, major player. So what does a great president commanding 33 legions actually look like? Well, his form is easily one of the most striking in the entire grimoire. He traditionally appears as this massive great bull, but rocking the wings of a griffin. The texts describe him as heavy, powerful, and built for immense endurance. But much like reality itself, his form is entirely mutable. At the conjurer's command, he can just shift into the shape of a human man. And what's really fascinating here is that some historical sources actually describe a female form associated with him, one with feline features that links all the way back to the Egyptian goddess Bastet. But for sure, the mighty winged bull is the manifestation you'll see cited the most. Let's move on to his abilities, because this is exactly where Haagenti truly stands out from the rest of the Goetic demons. He offers the ultimate toolkit. Most demons in the lore, they offer brute force, maybe destruction, or simple fleshly temptations. Not Haagenti. His powers center on deep, fundamental transformation. He doesn't want to destroy the world. He wants to rewrite the rules of matter. He literally gives the summoner the knowledge and the tools to essentially hack physical reality. This toolkit consists of highly specific alchemical gifts. First, he makes men wise by instructing them in all subjects. We're talking total, unvarnished knowledge here. Second, and this is his most famous gift, he can transmute all metals into gold. Third and fourth, he changes wine into water and water into wine. And this brilliantly illustrates how his gifts aren't just a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a highly specific, deeply symbolic set of powers. He's handing over the profound alchemical secrets that humanity had been desperately trying to solve for centuries. He already has the formula. To really grasp the weight of this, we have to understand the historical world that actually dreamed up this demon. See, alchemy wasn't just some fringe back-alley science in the medieval and Renaissance world. No, it was the absolute most prestigious pursuit a scholar could possibly undertake. Entire laboratories were built, immense fortunes were completely drained, and brilliant minds went completely mad chasing the one formula that could transmute base metal into gold and, hey, perhaps unlock the secret of immortality while they were at it. It was literally the space race of the Middle Ages. So the crucial point to look at is how society reacted to this immense pursuit.
On one side, you had kings and monarchs eagerly funding these alchemists. I mean, they wanted endless wealth and unlimited power, and they were more than happy to empty their royal treasuries to find the Philosopher's Stone. But on the flip side, the church tolerated them, sure, but they watched with deep, deep anxiety. Why? Because the religious authorities were absolutely terrified of what it actually meant if a human being could just casually rearrange reality at will.
And that leads us right to the core symbolism of Haagenti, the terror of unnatural refinement. Think about what the transmutation of metals and the reversal of liquids actually means in practice. It proves that the physical world is not fixed. It proves that with the right knowledge, the right process, or maybe the right presence in the room, the very fabric of existence can be bent. For the church, if matter could be transformed at will, then the natural order wasn't some divine, unchangeable law at all. It was just an illusion, a version of reality that simply hadn't been interrupted yet. Haagenti is the interruption. That is exactly what this great president of hell represents. He is the ultimate disruption of medieval reality. By offering the power to turn nothing into something, to refine the unnatural, and to force change upon the physical world, he completely embodied all of society's deepest, most profound anxieties about artificial perfection. He is the embodiment of humanity reaching just a bit too far, unlocking the cheat codes of the universe through a dark, forbidden bargain. Which brings us to the philosophical transaction at the heart of this ancient lore. When we talk about summoning a demon of this magnitude, the sources force us to wonder about the true cost of the ultimate alchemical bargain. What does he actually want from you? Interestingly, Haagenti doesn't seem to demand immediate destruction. Instead, he demands your active participation in subverting the natural divine order. By teaching you to turn base metals into gold, he is feeding your ultimate hubris. You aren't just receiving a gift anymore. You are fundamentally altering your relationship with reality itself. You're no longer just an observer of the natural world. You are its manipulator, fully indebted to the dark forces that gave you the blueprint. And I want to leave you with this incredibly provocative thought today. Based on the text we've explored, if a being like Haagenti could actually teach you to turn nothing into something, to completely master the physical world around you, what would you be willing to transform to get there? Would it just be metals and liquids, or would you eventually have to transform yourself?